million in purses. Hey, Springsteen, Montana, and Jordan all rolled into one, but he wasn't so sure 18 seasons ago. For anyone who's ever trained or driven a standardbred, the goal is always the same: to reach the championship level, to be the best. And for driver John Campbell, the road to the Hall of Fame was paved with some insecurities as he moved up to the Big M in 1978.
Well, the money was the main thing that brought me to the Meadowlands. Looking back, one of the things still fresh in my mind was whether I had the talent or stock to compete when I came here in 1978. And one of my goals was just to survive that first meet without having to go back to Detroit and Windsor and regroup. And I didn't have as successful a meet at that time as it turned out I did in later years, but I was quite pleased with myself that I had enough horsepower and thought I could compete right through till August.
4 years later, Campbell captured his first Meadowlands pace with Hilarion.
Hilarion was definitely one of my biggest surprises of a major race. You have to be lucky, and Hilarion was good on the right night. He had post 10, and he ended up getting a perfect trip from post 10, which I didn't expect. And he took advantage of it, but it was a place of being at the right place at the right time. Just before the gate left, I looked over and nobody was leaving, and that really surprised me. And Hilarion was very usable, and I just spoke to him, and he was crossed over before the first turn and made the lead easily.
125 and 2 for 3/4. The field is at the top of the stretch. It's No Nukes in front by a half length. Elitist is right there, second. Pit Boy on the outside, romping home toward the rail, and Hilarion. They move to the final 16th. No Nukes in front and driving. Hilarion is right there, second. Here comes McKenzie with the late move on the outside. No Nukes with a short lead. Hilarion right there. No Nukes and Hilarion. It's too close to call.
No Nukes went a tremendous mile, but Hilarion got the trip, and that was the difference.
1993 saw an unprecedented struggle between two champion pacers and two champion drivers. As the race began, no one could predict the outcome or the inquiry that followed. In Deep Stretch, Presidential Ball and Life Sign battled head-to-head for the wire. But with only an eighth of a mile left, Life Sign suddenly bore into Presidential Ball, and Campbell's bike drifted dangerously close.
The two greatest drivers slugging it out. Presidential Ball wins it in 1:50.
It was just a question of greenness. I had asked him, moved him alongside Presidential Ball, and he felt like he was going to go by, and I just hit him once with the whip, and he just jumped right sideways. It was something he never did before that, and he didn't do it after, but he did it that night, and it definitely was an expensive detour that he took.
Campbell rebounded a year later.
Cam's Card Shark was as easy a horse to drive at that level as I've ever driven. He was very maneuverable, very adaptable to race situations, and he made my job so much easier because of that.
But in Deep Stretch, it's all Cam's Card Shark. Striding out and dominating this field, Cam's Card Shark wins the Meadowlands pace in 1:50 flat.
Campbell's journey to success took him from London, Ontario to the Harness Hall of Fame in 1991, achieving his career milestone at the age of 36, the youngest driver to ever be inducted.
Through my dad's patience and encouragement, I was able to turn into some kind of semblance of a trainer and driver. I'll never be able to thank him enough for that, and this is about as close as I'll ever get. Thanks, Dad. I never would have been here without you.
And now it's owners and trainers who are thanking John Campbell, one of the greats in the game.